Welcome to Jane Jackson Careers, a podcast that takes your career to the next level. Here's your host, Jane Jackson, author of Amazon Careers bestseller, Navigating Career Crossroads.
Welcome back to my Careers podcast, where I interview fascinating professionals who've made amazing career changes. Now, today is an extra special episode because I have on the show Heidi Yi. Now, she's a special lady who has experienced many extremely challenging life transitions, and all with grace and determination. Heidi is a breast cancer survivor, an author, and entrepreneur. In this episode, Heidi shares her career journey and also shares honestly and openly about how she overcame the life-changing diagnosis of breast cancer. This entrepreneurial professional is the founder and manufacturer of Heidi Yi Mineral Makeup, is a makeup artist turned author, and has learned the hard way how to scale a business by working smarter, not harder. And now let's welcome author Heidi Yi to the show. Hi, Heidi.
Oh, hi, Jane. How are you?
I'm very well, and I've been looking forward so much to interviewing you on your career podcast. And thanks so much for your time, because you've got such a great story to tell. You know, you've written so many books and you've gone through some massive health issues, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But how about, just to kick us off, let's find out about your career journey and what your early career aspirations were when you were a little girl.
Yes, thanks for having me, Jane. So when I was young, I've always wanted to be a hairdresser. So when I finished school, year 12, I did hairdressing apprenticeship, but about 3 months into it, I didn't like it anymore. But that was meant to be my dream job. So I should have liked it, but I didn't in reality. I thought I can't be folding towels and, cleaning the salon all day. I want to cut hair and color to get creative, but it's a 4-year apprenticeship, and I couldn't see myself finishing the apprenticeship. So while still working in a hair salon, I worked as a makeup artist. So I enrolled myself in diploma of beauty therapy and did some makeup courses, and I loved it.
And how long were you a makeup artist?
So that was from 1996 until about a couple of years ago.
So you're a makeup artist for a long time. So tell me now, that's an interesting career as well. I mean, being a hairdresser is a wonderful career. It just wasn't for you, because the thing is being an apprentice, it does take a long time before they allow you to do the fun stuff.
That's right.
Yes, but at least, learning makeup artistry, and as a makeup artist, it must have been fascinating. Tell me some of the clients that you had and the work that you did.
So I started doing wedding makeups. So a lot of traveling, because, it's weekend wedding. So you've got to go to the reception venue and also do touch-ups all day. So that was back in Brisbane, and also did makeup for special occasion. So clients that come in to get the hair done in the salon, I would do their makeup, and also ended up doing some magazine work. Wedding magazines and things like that.
So I think with the wedding makeup, that would have been really interesting, because I know that brides get very emotional. Did you have any bridezilla stories?
Lots of them, actually. One bride rang me really angry because I was running 10 minutes late. She thought I wasn't coming.
10 minutes? Oh dear.
10 minutes. And stuck in traffic, can't do much.
Yeah. Well, the thing is I suppose when you get married, though, your emotions are so high that even 1 second is too long, isn't it? But it sounds like you were a very popular makeup artist. So you're in the magazines. You were doing people's makeup for events and for weddings, and so for so many years you developed a lot of expertise because you wrote a book about makeup.
Yes, because when I was doing different types of makeup, like for TV commercial and also for hair models for competition work. Hairdressers, they have their own models, and I had to do their makeup, and I really enjoyed it. But I've decided to write. Um, People used to ask me, "Oh, how do you apply makeup and this and that?" And I thought, well, people asking me the same questions, I might as well turn into like a training manual, because I got asked to teach makeup as well, makeup trainer for a private college and things like that.
Because the two books that you wrote, Heidi, one is Pro Makeup and Essential Skincare for Everyday Beauty, the essential tools and professional techniques you too can achieve every day, which sounds great. And the other one is called Let's Talk Foundation, the essential foundation makeup guide for Asian women. Now that's really interesting. So tell me, what's the difference when applying makeup for Asian women versus Western women?
I think the main difference is that I'm Asian. I'm Korean-born Australian. We have we like to go lighter. Like we use lightening creams and skincare to make our skin look fairer, and like to wear our foundation very light. Whereas Caucasians, like Australians, we love to tan, go out in the sun and put bronzer on, look a bit darker, and get fake tan put on to make the skin look darker. So when I had to do wedding makeup for Caucasian brides and Asian brides, they're all different colors, totally different style, because I knew the skin tone is different and we want to go a bit lighter on Asian skin.
I remember something that was so funny when I was growing up, because I'm half Chinese from Hong Kong and half English. So, my skin actually tans quite well. And growing up as a teenager, I loved going to the beach and I loved getting really brown and tan. And my mother, who's Chinese, was horrified because she was saying to me, why would you want to make yourself so dark when it looks like you've been working in the fields? It's so much better to have light skin, because it means that you don't have to go out in the sun. It's funny, isn't it? It's completely different cultures. And being half Western, half Asian, I was kind of torn between the two. So with your makeup expertise, you're able to adapt the way that you do makeup, and also, different eye shapes and different lip shapes and different face shapes would have been really interesting, just to get the contouring right, wouldn't it?
That's right. And it's quite common for Asian women to have eyebrow tattoo done and eyeliner tattoo. And also we have to have those fake lashes put on, because our lashes are very short, and sometimes like they have cosmetic surgery, eyelid lift, to open up the eyes a bit.
Actually, one of my friends when I was growing up, she was Korean German, and her mother was Korean, and she sent her off to Korea because she had beautiful eyes, really, really beautiful, very, very oriental looking eyes. I love them because she had these deep brown eyes. But her mother wanted her to have the surgery to make a double eyelid.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah, and I think that's a very popular surgery in Korea, isn't it? And so she went off to Korea. She came back. We didn't see her for months, and she came back, and suddenly she had double eyelid, which looked very nice. But I really liked her before as well. So I guess it just depends on the individual as to what they consider to be beautiful. And so this makeup side of your career was for many, many years, and then you made a change. So tell us about that change from makeup artist to becoming a founder and manufacturer of your own mineral makeup business, and what happened after that?
So I think it was 2007 that I started writing the makeup book. That was my debut book, and that back then it was called Pro Makeup by Heidi. And around that time, I was thinking about launching my own products, like natural mineral makeup, and it was a success. So my book and my mineral makeup came out in the same year, and that was 1 year before the GFC. And I thought, what have I done? But I got over the hurdles, and it was okay. It's a small business, but it takes a lot of work for business to work. And I was working hard and traveling a lot to do expos. And so I had a lot on my plate. And 2013, I started feeling unwell, like a bit sick. I thought, oh, I'm doing too much. I'm run down. Maybe I've got a cold or something. But it turned out to be breast cancer at age 35. That was a very big shock. So that's when I decided, okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to do with my life, my business? I needed to prioritize, which is my health number one, and see what is important in life.
And so, Heidi, that must have been such a daunting time for you when you got that diagnosis of breast cancer. How did you cope with it?
I was in shock. So I asked the doctor, said, are you sure? Like, is the biopsy results, is that my name on that report? Can you please double check? Or I was sort of in denial. I thought, can we run the test again? It can't be. I'm only 35. Does that mean I'm going to die? Like, I had a lot of fear, but I didn't react like crying or yelling or screaming. I was really numb and silent. I had to think about a lot of things. And business, I thought, what am I going to do with my business? I worked so hard. Do I stop now, or what do I do? But then I decided, okay, it's not the end of the world. It's only 2 years. It takes 2 years for cancer treatment, like chemotherapy, radiation therapy, medication, things like that. I thought, I can work from home maybe. I'll do something during my recovery, because I've been in and out of hospital, admitted like over 20 times, and have had over like 10 operations. I'm talking major, like double mastectomy, reconstruction, and things like that. And I started writing. The first book that I wrote back in 2007, The Pro Makeup by Heidi, I thought that's a bit outdated. So let me rewrite this to more current edition. But how do I do this? It's too much work. And I want to write other books as well. I've decided to get some help. And I found a publishing consultant who can help me through the process from start to finish. And it happens that we ended up writing 6 books. They're ebooks and paperback.
I think you had such a story to share, and having such a personal journey, and so many people. I've had 5 of my own friends who are diagnosed with breast cancer as well, and it's really, really daunting. And so, Heidi, it must have been quite cathartic for you when you started documenting everything that you were going through and writing your books, with the assistance of your publishing consultant, because, as you say, you've ended up writing 6 books, which is phenomenal. And the interesting thing is that, there was big tips for small business. the key success habits and insights of starting and growing a small business in Australia, because that's what you did very successfully. And then you wrote 2 books all about publishing. One was How to Self-Publish Your First Book, a simple and inexpensive guide to self-publishing your first book, from someone who took the not so easy, sometimes expensive route. Yes, okay. That would be an interesting one. And then the other one is How to Write Your First Book, a simple and effective guide to writing your first book from someone who had no confidence in writing. So I think, I mean, that's bestseller material here, because so many people think they've got a book in them. But your final book, this one that you've written, your most recent one, this one is one that I'm holding in my hot little hands, which I really think is very, very special, because this is your personal journey through cancer. And the little tagline with it says, from powder puff to chemo. So as a makeup artist, you're going through chemo and then reinventing your career is, it really is very, very moving. And, thank you so much for sending me a copy of this beautiful book.
You're welcome.
It's pink. It's the breast cancer pink color, and it's called The Determinator, right? Because you were determined to succeed. Let me just read what you've got on the back. It says,
Sure,
The Determinator, a young woman battling through the horrors of cancer, a touching real-life story of a breast cancer survivor who became an inspiration to many. When businesswoman, author, and makeup artist Heidi Yi, living a full life of tight work commitments, a busy travel schedule, and the hectic social calendar of the 30-something, came face to face with a life-changing diagnosis, everything came to a halt. While lying on her couch watching late-night TV, she discovered a lump in her breast. That must be just the horror of, all of us to worry about it. The feeling when you discovered that must have been so scary, Heidi. And then on the back, it continues to say, her discovery turned out to be a malignant tumor. This journey from diagnosis of aggressive triple-positive breast cancer at age 35 helped shape a new perspective on living a healthy and positive lifestyle, gratitude for modern medical professionals, and counting her blessings daily through devotion and faith in trusting in God. Now, was that what got you through all of it? Was it your faith, Heidi?
Yes. I'm a Christian, and I go to Hillsong Church. And I have been to other churches as well, but it's my faith in God. I didn't leave God. I didn't ask him, why did this have to happen to me? What's going on? What did I do wrong, or anything like that? I just accepted it. I thought, okay, this is like a wake-up call. Life is short. You got to live life to the fullest. I started thinking, okay, have I done something wrong? And I rang my friends. And I said, I'm really sorry. I hope you can forgive me if I did or said something to upset you. And they were saying, what are you talking about? Where did this come from? But, having a medical condition, you think it's a death sentence, because cancer, people put cancer in the same basket as people going to die. But I thought, actually, I'm going to think positive. I'm going to keep praying. And I'm going to pray for healing. I'm going to be strong. And I'm going to make myself better. And I did. I mean, it's the diagnosis. It's a very long word. The whole jargon, it scared me. I thought, what does that mean? HER2 positive, invasive ductal carcinoma, grade 3. What's that? But the doctor said, don't stress too much. All you have to do is just turn up to your medical appointments, and that's the best you can do.
You had 2 years.
Yes, 2 years. Yep. Because chemo, I don't know if people have heard of Herceptin. So if your breast cancer is triple positive, and because mine was aggressive, we needed 1 more year of treatment, in addition to your normal chemo and radiation treatment. And on top, I had multiple surgeries and had 2 life-threatening infections, had 5 ambulance call-outs, had blood transfusion, and I had neutropenic sepsis, which is life-threatening infection, and C. difficile colitis, which is another life-threatening infection. I mean, I could have died, but I didn't. And I thought I was going to die. And I rang the lawyers to get my paperwork in order, get your affairs in order, is that how people say it? But I got better. And after that, I decided to, because I've been journaling, I've been writing, like, you know how people put Dear Diary, but I've been putting Dear God. I've been writing daily events and somehow turned that into a book. Positive one.
It is. This is such a beautiful book, Heidi, The Determinator. And what I really like about it is that it's such an honest book. And you talk about everything from the moment you received the diagnosis to how you felt, to how you handled it, to what you did with your health and your diet and your spirituality as well, right down to things like making sure that you keep up to date with your private health insurance, because there's a bit in the book here where you said that 6 months prior to the cancer diagnosis, you were thinking of cancelling your private health insurance because you thought, oh, well, maybe I don't really need it. So thank goodness you kept it.
I couldn't believe it. When you're on a budget, I thought, I don't need that. I haven't made a claim in ages. I won't get sick. But you just don't know what's going to happen. So we downgraded. And oh my goodness, I don't know, if I didn't have private health, I don't know how I would have been able to afford all the medical expenses. It's not cheap. But I'm very grateful, how things happen for a reason. So I'm so thankful and grateful because I've gone from working full-time capacity to not working at all for a while. And there was no income. That was hard. But we got through it. There are a lot of doctors were very generous. Some doctors said, we'll just put it on Medicare, bulk bill you, so there's no out-of-pocket expenses. But the doctor said, don't tell anyone because it wouldn't be fair to other patients. But because you've gone through so much, I just feel for you and hope you get better. And I thought, wow, this is compassion. I'm so thankful.
And it's interesting how, sometimes, when you need it most, help comes in lots of different ways.
It does. Whether it's someone, giving you a gift or a bunch of flowers, giving you a call to see how you're going. Even, little things like, oh, do you want to come up for coffee? Oh, sure. I'll get some fresh air, get me out of the house. Or visiting me in hospital. There were times I was in the cancer ward and in isolation. No visitors allowed because I was that critical. Like, I was too embarrassed to show people how I looked at the time, very frail, sick, lost weight, looked like I was going to die. I didn't want to show that to anybody. So family, I told my family, don't visit me until I get better because it'll be very painful to watch.
It must have been so heartbreaking for them because I'm sure all they want to do is to be with you and to help you through it as well. But everyone reacts in different ways.
They do. Even friends, even when I lost hair, they were crying, but I wasn't crying because I was getting used to it. And when they saw me with no hair, like all bald and everything, it was such a shock. And they were just crying nonstop. But I know that they're trying to be strong for me. But, we all humans, we have feelings, we have emotions. We cry when we need to cry. So, but when I cried was when I lost hair, when my hair fell out in the shower after I had my second round of chemo, and that was a big shock. So that's when I realized, okay, I'm going to lose all my hair now, and it probably won't grow back for about a year. And people looking at me in public, I was a bit self-conscious because I used to wear a beanie to hide. But my friend said, don't worry, people are going to know that you're going through cancer treatment. They're not going to stare at you. It's just you worrying too much. I remember I was lining up at a supermarket and the line is really long. And I thought, oh, should I leave? Should I stay? And this lady came up to me and said, you can take my spot. And I said to her, really? She said, so you don't have to wait. I don't even know this lady. She just saw me with a beanie on and said, you go first. And that really touched me because it's the community. Like they help, they help me a lot, whether I know them or not.
It's beautiful the way that the community does come to assist, and everybody they do care. They do care because this could happen to anybody anytime, and I think too many of us don't appreciate what we've got while we've got it.
Yeah, that's right. Like I went to the hairdressers the other day, and I wanted my hair done, but so the hairdresser gave me a quote, and I thought, oh, too expensive. I can't spend that much on. I just can't justify spending that much on my hair. But come to think of it, I had self-published 6 books. I've just released it that week. I turned 40 that week, and my 5-year remission, my 5-year anniversary. So why not? And I've got hair now. So I thought I'd treat myself because you just don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I treat today like if it's my last day. Because what happened was when I got diagnosed with breast cancer, it was December 2013. 3 weeks prior to that, I went to a hairdresser and I spent $400 on my hair. But then I had to shave it all off for the chemo. So you just enjoy for the moment. You say, yes, yep, I'll have that done. I'll have this. I'll take that too.
And we don't say yes enough to things. We think, oh no, tomorrow, or when this happens, I'll do this. Or, when that other thing happens, then I'll treat myself. But you know what? We've only got now. We've got the present. We should really gift ourselves, joy right now, shouldn't we?
That's right. I mean, I've set myself some boundaries. If people ask me for favors or can you do this, can you commit to that, I can say no. I can kindly decline. I can't do that. But if it's got to do with looking after myself and my health, like I've joined a gym and I've got personal trainer, I'll go personal training once a week. It's hard work, but I say yes. Yep, I'll come and see you next week again and again because I know that it's doing me good. And anything that costs money, I can always earn that, but I can't buy time.
Yeah.
So, I work, I have an income now, and it pays for things and pays for my little luxuries, pays for my medical expenses. Like tomorrow, I've got an oncologist appointment and my medications, they cost money. A lot of things, but they're just life. Just need to get through it and not stress about it.
And it's so true. I think it's given you a really good perspective on why we're here as well. Heidi, I'd just like to share with the listeners something that you've written in your book. It's on page 44, things that you'd do differently. Okay, if you'd known. Yes, may I just read out
Sure.
there are just 6 items here. One thing that you do differently is you say here, I'd book myself to have a mammogram despite my age and have it checked every 2 years. Mammograms are important. And then the second item is, regardless of your age, be open to the possibility of talking to the doctor when concerned about breast changes. So don't stay silent. The third one is, consult with a geneticist or genetic counselor to discuss the option of getting genetic testing done for the risk of developing breast cancer. So even preempting it, that's a brilliant idea, such as Angelina Jolie did the same thing.
That's right, double mastectomy. It's
Yeah.
called prophylactic double mastectomy.
Yeah.
So they remove the breast to prevent breast cancer. It doesn't mean that you won't get it, but it just, I think, reduces the risk.
Yeah, that's right. And then the fourth one is to get to know your body and be aware of any changes, no matter how small or insignificant. Do self-examinations. Attend workshops in the community to learn more about this, because early detection is the key. And then number 5 was, you were offered some medication that you didn't want to take, hoping to manage the pain on your own, but it got too painful and finally you did accept it. So you say here, maybe it's better to take the medication before the pain intensifies.
Yes.
It's miserable, being in pain. And lastly, not strictly medically related, but more medically prompted, get personal legal documents in place before getting sick. Speak to a solicitor about updating or creating a will, appointing a power of attorney, enduring guardian, and all the important paperwork that we all think, oh, we've got time to do that. But you know what? We may have time, but we may not. So really, your advice here in this book, besides your personal journey going through breast cancer and the treatment and successfully, reaching 5 years and it's all good now. So, bless you, thank goodness, that's happened. You provide some very practical advice for anyone who may be going through this as well. So I think it's going to be a huge inspiration to many, many women who are concerned about this or who are going through a difficult time at this point in time. Heidi, if people want to find out more about you, where could they find you and hear more about your story?
They can find out more by reading my book, or I have a website, HeidiYi.com, info@HeidiYi.com, like my Facebook page, Heidi Yi Author, to keep updated. So I've been posting, actually my social media management. So together we come up with posts each week. So it's not all about trying to sell the books, but about me as a person, cancer survivor. Like October was Breast Cancer Awareness Month, to make people more aware of what breast cancer is and what they can do, doing self checks or going to the doctor if you're not feeling well, things like that, to encourage people. Don't wait till you get sick, because I have family history of breast cancer and I'm the youngest. So it can happen to anyone.
Yeah, well, I think it's very sensible to preempt, take care of your health, be aware of any changes as well. And so what I'm going to do, Heidi, is I'll put on my show notes on janejacksoncoach.com all of the links to HeidiYi.com, your Facebook page, your Instagram account as well. So anyone who wants to follow you can do so. And if they want to get your book, The Determinator, Your Personal Journey Through Cancer, from Powder Puff to Chemo, you can get it from HeidiYi.com as well.
Or Amazon, also through Drafted Digital as well. So it's e-book format as well as paperback globally.
Yeah, and it's a beautifully published book, easy to read with your personal story. So thank you so much for your time, Heidi. I really appreciate you sharing your journey, because sometimes it's very difficult to talk about these things. But I think the more we talk about it, the more awareness people will have. And I'm sure that your story will help many, many people as well.
Thanks very much for having me. And just one note, to write this many books in one go, it was hard work. It took a lot of time, but I just want to thank my publishing consultant. I want a special mention to her for helping me like make my dream come true by publishing all my books. Linda Diggle from Book Boffin.
Yeah.
It's a 12-month process. We worked on our books for 1 year, and when it published, we celebrated. So I just want to say thank you to her for all her efforts.
Yeah, publishing a book is so much hard work, and publishing six. I mean, I've published one book, Navigating Career Crossroads, but you've published 6 books, and I know how much work that would be. So I'll add into the show notes as well. Book Boffin.
Yes.
And your publishing consultant is Linda. Her last name
Diggle. Diggle.
Linda Diggle. Beautiful. Well, thank you so much. It really has been a pleasure talking to you, and congratulations on your health, and congratulations on publishing your books as well. And thanks for your time, Heidi.
Thank you so much, Jane.
Okay,
I'll talk to you soon.
Yep, you too.
Okay, bye-bye.
If you enjoyed this podcast, look for Your Career Podcast on iTunes and leave a review. And for all the career management support you need to create your dream career, visit janejacksoncoach.com and join my Careers Academy for live career webinars, group coaching, one-on-one coaching support, as well as my online career development courses. Isn't it time you found your dream job?
You've been listening to Jane Jackson Careers. Sign up to receive regular career advice